Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you today?
Fine.
Okay, my name is Ernawati. I am a student of English department at Halolo University. Before I tell my topic, I wanna ask you, have you ever doing interaction in the classroom?
Yes. Of course we do.
Okay, my topic today is teach students to interact, not just talk. Why I choose this topic? Because interaction that doing by the student in the classroom still decrease. This theme address how well students speak in the classroom, and then by interaction in the classroom, the student can effectively improve their knowledge by emphasizing collaborative and cooperative learning in the second language classroom. The student can discuss the divergent understanding and shape the direction in the class. Okay, guys, today I have divided my point in 3 points. The first is how to make students interact in the classroom. The second is the problem we face when increasing interaction. And the third is does interaction influence the students who like talking? Okay, let's start with the first point. The first point is how to make student interaction in the classroom. Interaction in the classroom is very important thing. Why I say it is important? Because by interaction, the student can improve their ideas effectively and the student can build their confidence. Okay, to make student interaction in the classroom, there's some way to do it. The first is the teacher provide opportunity to the students to interaction in the classroom. The student who like talking in the classroom can interact with the other student who only sit in the classroom. Here, the teacher have a duty to control the student interaction in the classroom and give them feedback about the material that they discussed. The second is default a proportion times for the student interaction. Sometimes in the second language classroom, the students want to deliver their speech, but they don't have much time to deliver their ideas itself. So it's important if a teacher provide them time in order the students will free to deliver their ideas and the interaction can running effectively. And the third is encourage in-depth conversation among student and student interaction and interaction between student and a teacher as an instructor. A teacher as instructor in the classrooms have a responsibility to answer the question that asked by the students, and the teacher have a responsibility to give them the good answer for the students. And the last is the students, the teacher here provide them and feature the students to talk in the classroom effectively. And you are as the other students not speaking, please listen your friends who talking in the classroom. Okay, are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, let's move to my second point. My second point is the problem that these students face when increasing the interaction in the classroom. Okay, let's start with the first problem is student resistance. Unfortunately, not all of students in the classrooms learning in group or group of works. There are some students sometimes afraid to speak with the other students. So this is the one problem that they face in the classroom. And the second is self-consciousness. Sometimes there's some learners is nervous when speak with the other. And the third is mixed abilities. In the classroom, in the second language classroom, there's a students clever student, and there's some student in the middle capability and the less proficient in English. So to build the interaction in the classroom, it's so difficult. And the last is a lack of motivation. Some of students in less proficient in English in their second language classroom sometimes not have motivation to interaction with the other students because they embarrassed or nervous to speak English. Okay guys, let's move to the third point is does interaction influence the student who like talking? Interaction in the classroom involves the social and personal input. Why I say the social and personal inputs here, in the classrooms, the students can interact with the other students effectively, and the student who like talking cannot dominate the students not like talking in the classroom, but they can build their discussion or they can do their cooperative learning in the classroom together. So the interaction here can influence the student who like talking in the classroom. So from my explanation before, I can take the conclusion that interaction in the second language classroom is important thing for improving our ideas on and to building our self-confidence. Okay guys, if you have any question, please ask me. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for the time. Okay, my name is Ernawati, and I have a question for you. What do you think if you want to be a teacher in future? How can you arrange the time if in the class? How can you arrange the time in the class, and then what will you do? What will you do in you and you? What will you do if the student can do in a group or pair work?
Okay. According to my second point is default a significant proportion of class time. In my second point here is the teacher have opportunity to provide the student times. For example, in large classes, of course, there are so many students. So the duty of the teacher here is make the student in groups, so all of students have a chance to deliver their speech and have time to discuss their ideas together in group. All of students have opportunity to speak in group itself. Okay.
Yeah. My name is Lasmi. My question is how interaction can build the confidence of the students who has less knowledge in speaking English.
Okay. How interaction influence the student not like talking in the classroom? That's a nice question. Here, of course, our experience, there's our friends sometimes nervous to speak English because they less in English in speaking English. So it's why I say interaction is very important, because the teacher can make a small group. So I believe that if you speak English with your friends, sometimes your nervous is lost between you speak English with your teacher. Sometimes you afraid you falls in vocabulary or grammar. So interaction can influence the student who only sit in the classroom. It's important if the student here important the student who like talking help them to speak, give them motivate them to speak English more. Make them free to speak with their friends. Okay, the other question?
Here.
Okay, so
Alright. My question here is little bit related with Sulasmi's. So it's about the students who rarely speak, or he just talk less, do more, just like that when I say it. What I'm trying to say here is sometimes for students who rarely speak, how you as a teacher, when you give them a score for the, maybe you teach English, you give them a scores for the students who rarely speak. Sometimes conscience here is involved. You know conscience? Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes conscience is involved. So how can you give them a score?
Okay, how I give the score for the students like talking and less in speaking, like that. Okay, that's of course it's different with the students who like talking and for the students less in talking. That's maybe the students who like talking more the count of the value is high than the student less in speaking.
But what I've said before, it's all about conscience, you know. Sometimes you have to give the same score with because it's a conscience. When you give it a bad score, you're likely to be trusted as a bad teacher.
Okay, I get your point, but maybe it depends on the teacher itself. If he thinks he only speaks a little, the score maybe only 70, and the student who speak more long, it's the score maybe in 90 or 85. Like that, depend on the teacher itself. According to the consciousness is that's maybe it's not fair if the teacher give the student less speaking is 80 and the student with the long speaking is 70. It's not fair. Okay guys, thank you for participating in this seminar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wow.